second consecutive quarters. We have Umesh Chowdhary, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of the company with us now. Umesh, good morning. So finally, the railway companies are delivering on, promise because that was something which was missing. But what's the run rate from here? Do you think this kind of profit run rate that you have seen, that will continue?
So the good part of it is that this is without the railway is having released the orders till now for the wagons as we have expected. And as I've always maintained that the investments in the railways that have happened in the last 2.5 years have been primarily on the infrastructure or the capacity creation. And now we expect in the next year or so the expenditure to start on capacity utilization, which means more rolling stock. So if you look at our results in the last 2 quarters, they have not been driven by so much of railway wagons. In fact, if you look at the number of wagons that we have sold in the current year, they are even lesser than last year. So it's actually the initiatives that we have been taking over the last 2-3 years of diversifying into other products, whether it is in the passenger segment, whether it is on the overseas acquisition, on the defense side. These are actually what have driven our last 2 quarters, and as I say within the organization, the story is just about begun.
Okay, that's good to hear. Anyways, Umesh, morning. What kind of order pipeline do you have in those 2 spaces, foreign and defense? Should we expect this revenue run rate to continue?
So we have an order book as of now, Lata, of about 2,700 crores on a consolidated basis. And if I look at again out of this, what we have from the Indian wagons would be hardly about less than a couple of 100 crores. So if you see that the order book that we have also is very, very lopsided towards non-Indian railway wagon. And I'm really sincerely hoping that the wagon business should pick up from the coming year. Because what the railways have done is they have created enormous capacity. They have done the right things in the last 2 years. They have debottlenecked all the routes that were completely clogged and were completely hampering the growth of traffic for the Indian railways. But now having done that, having spent thousands and lakhs of crores in creating capacity, I think the railways would be definitely going for utilizing that capacity that they have created, for which they need wagons. So we are now really expecting that the wagon business in a year's time should start coming through, which is very, very small as of today in our portfolio.
Okay. And what about the order pipeline over the next 6 to 12 months in the defense sector particularly, and any kind of private orders that you would be looking at?
So wagons, the private sector wagon demand has been trickling in, I would say, in the last about 8-9 months or 1 year. It's not really picked up, but what the good part of it is that what had completely dried down till about a year ago, for almost a period of 2 years, there was almost zero wagon purchase by the private sector. In the last 1 year, we've started seeing some orders and more discussions, which we hope will culminate into orders, and that we should see is picking up. As far as defense is concerned, it's a very lumpy business. As you know, the defense, the gestation for the from the RFQ to the contract after the summer trial, winter trial, and all of that is extremely lumpy, and it takes time. But the marine side of it, the shipbuilding marine side of it, the Navy and specialized shipbuilding, that has taken off well. So we announced yesterday the receipt of our second contract. We had, as you would recollect, received our first contract from the Indian Navy last month. And we received our second contract for underwater survey vessels from National Institute of Ocean Technology for two more ships. Yesterday, we've announced that to the markets as well.
All right, Umesh, we'll have to leave it at that out of time. Thank you very much for joining.